such a gay dog. I know they like him.
I very nearly didn't come. I had an awful job getting out.
Everybody says he's full of fun. He's so full of life.
I wish people wouldn't invite strange men to meet me.
Oh, has Anthea asked a man for you?
He's asked somebody called Piers. Regular bundle of fun.
Oh, Piers. Well, he's marvellous. He's such a gay dog.
That's what Anthea says. Wish she'd asked Maggie instead of me.
That funny woman from Muswell Hill, the one with the glasses. She didn't look very gay to me.
You're wrong. She's very daring. She's terribly liberating.
Liberating?
She has funny parties and answers advertisements and hires a lady.
Lady?
Well, I mean, I don't know what she is. Anyway, she doesn't show any marks on her.
I do apologise for being late. I'm afraid I got a little caught up.
Well, as long as you're here, that's the main thing. We're rather short of men.
Now, that's the sort of situation I like.
You know The Simpsons.
And every time anybody does anything, the lady has to say, thank you, sir.
What? You are a bounder, Piers. I've asked someone along to meet you. My next-door neighbour, she's over there.
I shall seduce her between the meat and the pudding.
And then they put on their gas masks.
What? Oh, she's an awfully nice girl, and she's had rather a hard time, so I want you to be especially nice to her. Do you like them? They are good, aren't they? Oh, they're lovely. They're so expressive. Don't you just love that man with 3 legs?
What? Oh, yes, yes. Most imaginative.
I must say I'm all in favour of state education. Our eldest is doing frightfully well at swimming.
And jewellery. He makes the most lovely bracelets. Children are so frightfully creative now, aren't they?
Well, I'm afraid mine are away at school. They don't do much in that line. Greek, Latin, that sort of thing, but not jewellery.
Good Lord. You're sending them privately, are you?
Yes, yes, I'm afraid I am.
Oh, well, you see, that's where you lose out if you will send them to that sort of place.
Poor kid must be backward.
What?
Well, whoever saw a man with 3 legs? Wait a minute. It's not his leg, it's his willy.
Look, for God's sake, tell me what they do next. Well, after they put on their gas masks.
Well, she ties him up.
What, in his gas mask?
And then she goes and puts her boots on.
I think we can eat now. George, you tell everyone where to sit.
Right. Rita?
It's much more exciting. It's something to do with having to breathe more deeply.
Where shall I sit, George?
What about next to me?
Now, we don't want our gay bachelor habits interfering with family life, old man. Just you stay where you are.
Behave. We're not having a wife-swapping evening. Just behave yourself. I didn't know you were a bachelor. I thought you said you had children.
Oh, I have, but alas, no wife. She ran away with a lodger, left me all on my own.
Take no notice of anything he says. He's quite outrageous. He gave his poor wife a dreadful time. Rita lives next door, Piers.
Next door. Well, you're looking very pretty tonight, Dora. And alone, I see.
Do shut up, Piers.
Now, why didn't you go to Morris's party last week? I looked for you.
Oh, you are a liar. I've been feeling under a strain lately. I find going out something of a trial.
Well, I find everything a bit of a strain these days. Going out, staying in.
It was a jolly good party. You should have been there.
We don't get out as much as we'd like. The children don't like it. Us going out, I mean.
Oh, you remember Morris, don't you, George? That chap in computers.
Oh, Morris.
Yes, the great big yacht.
Uh-huh.
Where on earth are you going, Rita?
I just thought I'd pop back and see if Ruthie's all right.
Oh, I thought your mother was staying with you. George, take the bread with you.
Do you want to bring Ruthie in and put her to bed with ours?
No, you're right. It's all right. Philip's babysitting. I'm just checking.
Jane,
What's happened to Rita?
I'm not sure. She's gone, I think.
She's gone to see if Ruth is all right. Thank you. I think it needs a little more salt.
Does it? No, it's all right. Very nice.
I love Rita's children. Well, they're awfully natural.
You're absolutely right. They are fantastic children.
I've never heard her raise a voice to those children. She's terribly reasonable with them. It certainly pays off.
Look, Mum, Ruthie's all right. You fuss too much.
I asked you to babysit last week.
Said I wouldn't.
I just want to make sure they're happy and integrated.
Well, I think my boys are happy. At least they seem to be.
But they've got other problems, quite apart from school. On your own admission, they're children from a broken home.
Broken home. My dear girl, they go to one of the best schools in the country. And they've a 17th century farmhouse to go home to in the holidays. It's far from broken, I assure you. It's worth a fortune.
I wasn't thinking of material things.
Everything all right? I thought your mother was babysitting.
Oh, is your mother staying with you, Rita?
She's gone off in a half.
Oh, dear. Already. Whatever did you do wrong?
Nothing. It wasn't my fault. She always says before she comes that I'm to behave as though she isn't there. Continue my business as normal. Just continue my own sweet way. And when I do just that, like going out or anything, she takes umbrage. She's so childish.
Mothers are the end.
They're the bleeding beginning. I mean, that's the trouble.
I think teachers take the place of mothers after a time. That's why the right kind of school is so important. They mustn't be regimented too much.
Well, I doubt if there's a regiment anywhere to take my lot.
I don't think she quite meant
As
that.
long as they're happy.
Well, mine are bloody miserable most of the time.
Oh, rubbish, Rita. Very happy children. And they're so terribly interesting and individual. Oh, weren't we just saying how lovely they were, Piers?
They're so fantastically intense and inward-looking.
Inward-looking? They haven't got anything inside to look inward at. They are as thick as all get out. Do you know, I think it'd kill our Deirdre if she had to open a book. No, honestly, it would. And Philip is always stealing things.
Stealing?
Well, he's always coming home with things that have fallen off the backs of lorries.
But that's not stealing. Everybody I know gets things off the back of lorries.
As a matter of fact, we've got some gin at home, which
Whatever is she talking about? What does she mean, everybody?
I suppose it all began during the war. All that breaking down of morality. Nicking things from the naffy.
Do you know I've had my car stolen twice this year?
Old Piers is jolly sensible. He doesn't bother with a car. He goes everywhere by taxi.
Well, I do think that stealing is stealing. Call it whatever you like.
Why didn't you wallop her once? Your wife, when she went off with the lodger.
Rita, do go on about your friend.
What friend?
The gas mask lady. Why does she tie him up?
Keep him still while she bashes him, I suppose.
Bashes him? What, in his gas mask?
Well, he needs a gas mask. He looks like the wreck of Hesperus.
Oh, but how can he possibly enjoy it? I mean, sitting there, struggling for breath.
Mind you, I think ugly men are much nicer. The
The
others are so
headmaster's
bloody
a comprehensive,
conceited.
terribly
you know what they
go-ahead.
say.
He
Handsome
encourages
men
the
do
right
it
sort of
normally.
child.
Ugly
Someone's
ones
fairly
have to do it
confident
through
that
your
some
ear.
of these kids won't...
Oh, George, go easy on the drink. Don't be too generous.
I don't know why you go on about it so much. They only ever make friends with their own kind. Rupert hasn't even spoken to some of the children in his class.
What about that black child? The one he brought home to tea? What about him? You said he was terribly black.
He never came to tea.
Yes, he did.
You shouldn't say dreadful things like that. It sounds awful.
What dreadful things?
Terribly black. It sounds awful.
Do you really think that women go into that sort of thing?
Women?
I know a lot of people go into that sort of thing, but I wouldn't have thought that my wife would have put up with it.
Depends how kinky she was.
Kinky. Pamela.
Well, and I couldn't take it, I know, but then, I can't stand the smell of rubber. My friend likes it. Depends what you're used to.
Where the hell's Rita now?
Oh, she's nipped off again.
She's got some very funny friends.
She's an absolute love. She never gets cross, and I've never heard her say a bad word about anyone.
Oh, you're back.
Yes, I'm back.
Why are you sitting on my bed? I would have thought since you pinched
Looks
my
like
bed
a sofa to me. I thought you were out for dinner.
I am out for dinner. I'm just checking Ruth is all right. Did you have a nice evening then?
Oh, how it's changed. You wouldn't believe it.
I would. I wouldn't be seen dead in the Regent Palace Hotel.
Oh, no, Rita, it was a beautiful hotel. The tea dances, the potted palms, when my husband was alive.
Why do you insist on calling him that? He was my dad.
All the best people went there. Cotton magnates.
What?
You should see it now. The types. Well, what sort of persons are you out to dinner with?
Very boring persons. People with au pairs and daily helps and things.
Sounds peculiar to me.
I mean, they've got daily helps and things.
You could do with a bit of daily help here. How you can let people through that door, I do not know. I should die of shame.
It's not that bad.
Not fit for a dog.
Got one of those next door. A gay dog. That's why everybody says he is. I've got my doubts. It's like those men in the Regent Palace Hotel, looking at women all the time. And you wonder why they're on their own.
You wouldn't believe the price of whiskey they charge there.
Have you been snooping again?
Well, what's the matter with you now? Has somebody upset you next door, have they? Somebody asked you where you got that jumper and skirt?
What's wrong with my skirt?
I wouldn't go for the coal in it.
How's Elsie Tattersall?
Who?
Elsie Tattersall, your bridge partner.
Elsie Tattersall? Well, I haven't played bridge with Elsie Tattersall since my husband died, and well, you know it.
Mrs. Mercer, then?
Mrs. Mercer?
The woman with the evacuees.
Well, what evacuees?
Darling, why aren't you in bed? Hmm?
I felt lonely.
Hasn't she got a nightie?
Now, come on, darling, back to bed, eh? Look, I'm supposed to be having dinner with Anthea.
You don't like Anthea.
Of course I like Anthea. Now, come on, you say goodnight to Nan-Nan, hmm?
You haven't got a nightie either, Nan-Nan. You wear your jumper in bed.
Mum, will you please take Ruthie upstairs? I'm not supposed to be here.
I can't be expected to climb all those stairs. You can't use hot water.
Oh, don't be stupid, it's all hot in the end.
I will not have hot water in that kettle.
You're drinking.
Darling, I'm sorry. Oh, poor Leggy. It's all Nan-Nan's fault.
Beer's glass is empty, darling.
They tucked you out.
What you do? Where's your bicycle?
Just come back for a record.
Listen, you are not playing that gramophone at this time of the night. Nan-Nan is tired.
We've practically finished dinner. I put yours back in the oven, but I'm sure it's ruined.
I am sorry. I really am. I'm awfully sorry. But, I just got to bother. Now, my mother came back and Ruthie got up. And Philip was awfully rude.
Rudeness is communication. He is not afraid to meet you face to face. It's a real relationship, man.
Is she talking to you or me?
Oh, I think she meant you. Did you want me to fetch your dinner from the oven?
Silly cow. I just wait till her blooming little plute stops fiddling about with his bracelets and tells her to piss off.
Did your son do that?
No, not really. Oh, I hate this sort of music.
Oh, I think it's rather jolly.
Jolly? Bloody awful. And no tune.
Would you like to go out into the garden?
I'm going out there. It's freezing. You know, my mum is extraordinary. I can't think how her mind works.
She live with you?
Oh, of course not. That would finish me off. She will insist on calling my dad her husband.
Oh.
It's so personal. It's so selfish. And she won't walk upstairs.
My wife was a great walker. At least...
What happened to her legs, then?
Oh, nothing happened to her legs. She had jolly good legs.
I always walk out of rooms backwards.
Backwards.
I don't like my legs.
Let me be the judge of that.
What did happen to your wife? Did she really run off?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
On account of you being a gay dog?
Well, not exactly, no.
Did she go off with the man?
Oh, good Lord, no. No, she just decided that we weren't simpatico, as she put it. I'd been playing around a little, nothing too serious.
She found out.
Oh, no. At least, well, I don't think she did. No, she just got up one morning and said we weren't simpatico.
Are there any other signs? No, I mean, my dad used to get into terrible paddies. And every time he felt a moody coming on, he used to sing, "Have a go, Joe." It was a kind of early warning.
Well, nobody could ever describe Pamela as moody. Well, not terribly. Tell you the truth, I've never really thought about it. I suppose, most of the time it was my fault. Do you see, her father was a surgeon, and her mother was a doctor. Well, practically. Terribly efficient sort of people. Always worrying about infection. Well, I lose things. I didn't mind the dog trampling mud all over the sofa. Pamela did mind. Well, she was in research before we married. I suppose it was her training. Now you mention it, there were one or two oddish signs.
My mum's always been odd.
She took to staring out of the window rather a lot. And then she took a fearful dislike to the cat.
How do you mean?
Well, she'd always been so fond of it. I can never understand that. Of course, she'd been under the doctor for some time, with some blood thing.
What was its name?
Anemia, I think.
What a daft name. That's wonder the cat didn't take a dislike to her. My mum's name's Edwina.
Rather a pretty name.
George, do be careful of that glass. They do it all the time in Greece.
I don't know how you can bear to fly. I think you're so brave.
Oh, I just take a little pill. And a quarter bottle of gin, and then I hardly notice.
I notice. You get damn maudlin with all that booze inside you. Pointing at the Alps and telling everyone how like instant potato they are.
Instant potato, the Alps.
Oh, darling, those dear little fluffy mashed potatoes set in a silver seal.
Oh, I knew that could happen.
I think you're incredibly brave. I'm so frightened of dying.
I'm frightened of her dying. Every time she comes here with the suitcase full of ball gum, I get so miserable. I don't know what she expects. I don't go to any balls. I always get so cross when she's staying with me, and then when she goes and I see a puffy little face in the window of the train, I feel guilty. I feel I'm let her down.
Yes. You know, sometimes I feel I've let Pamela down.
Oh, no, do shut up about Pamela. I mean, she isn't old and on her own.
Sorry. You know, I'm sure that you have no need to worry about your mother. I'm sure that you love her very much.
Of course I do. I don't like her. And she doesn't like me either.
I'm sure that isn't true, you know. I'm sure that is not
How
true.
do you know? I never even met her.
Well, I...
Come and meet her.
Well, no, I don't.
Come on. Come on. Next I'm going on about education. There's nothing wrong with my skirt, is there?
No.
Messy, the house.
Oh, I often felt Pamela was far too tidy.
Oh dear, she must have gone to bed. What a shame.
Well, who plays the piano?
Ruthie does. And Deirdre. But there's some notes missing. Sit down then. That's my bed. It's awful not having your own bedroom.
Oh, I don't know. I often feel we all lead such predictable lives. I know I do. Getting up at the same time, living in the same place, going to work.
I thought you went to lots of parties.
Well, I do, but they're all the same. You meet the same people. It's a fairly regular life.
Well, I don't lead an irregular life. I mean, what kind of life do you think I lead? I mean, if I had a spare bedroom, then my mum wouldn't have had to have pinched mine, and then it would all have been jolly regular, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Shall I pour you another whiskey?
Yes, if it's not too much.
Do you mind it in a cup?
No, of course not.
Oh. I have to hide it in the bushes in case my mother gets her hands on it.
What are you doing? What's he doing?
He's sitting there.
Hello, what's your name?
Why is he sitting there?
Where's Nana?
Gone to bed. She says she can't stand this hellhole any minute longer.
Do you think we ought to be getting back?
We haven't been long. Do you know Dora?
Well, not all that well. We meet at various parties.
She's awfully silly. Mind you, she's in a good way of doing it. That is what's wrong with her.
A good...
Well, she's rich. She got a settlement every time she got divorced. I wish I had.
How many times you...
Shh. She's going to play a tune.
Oh, it's so vital!
I don't seem to be able to get the hang of it.
Wasn't Ruthie sweet?
Very sweet. Isn't it rather late for her to be up?
See? I mean, they didn't even miss us.
Sometimes I wonder if Pamela ever misses me.
Oh, of course she does. Had anybody miss you?
You think so? Well, I wouldn't have thought I was the sort of chap anyone would miss.
But you are. You are so manly.
Manly?
And I bet that's what got poor old Pamela down. You being so dominating and male. You really are one of the fellas, aren't you?
Oh, now, come on. I'm just an average sort of fella. I bet you could do with a bit of dominating yourself, couldn't you? Someone to keep you in order.
You're right. I could. There was someone once. He was a bit too manly, if you follow me.
Not quite.
There you are. You keep vanishing. Well, aren't you going to come and dance?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Oh, what's up with you?
Things up with me. You just came in at the wrong moment, that's all.
Really? Him? Were you having a row?
A row? He was just getting fruity.
Oh, fruity? Oh, he's never anything else. Well, he's an absolute scream with the ladies.
I don't think he's a scream. I think he's pathetic.
You probably inflamed him with all that talk of yours about gas masks.
It wasn't like that. I'm going home.
I'm sorry, Rita. Well, how was I to know? Please don't go home. It's so nice meeting new people.
New people? And what is new about them? What meeting you doing, anyway? Tottering about in some sooty old backyard going la, la, la.
It was Greek dancing.
And all that talk about education and childhood and where you come from.
What talk?
How you met your first fella, what the cat's called. Now you used to cry every time your daddy sang Have a Go, Joe. Have a go, Joe! Come and have a go. The war is done, your service done, there's nothing much to show. La 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 la.
Come on, Joe, have a go.
It used to make her daddy cry.
I told you to go easy on the drink, George.
Well, I think she's rather amusing when she's had a few drinks. I prefer her like that. It's very droll.
Did she say her daddy was Wilfred Pickles?
I don't mean any harm, really, I don't. Oh, it's no use. I've been embarrassing. I know I haven't. I'm just too impulsive. I had no right to say what I did about poor old Pamela.
I assure you,
no,
you said nothing
don't attempt to deny it. I know what I know. I come from a very long line of hotels and potted farms. You don't hate my skirt, do you?
No, of course I don't.
Everything under control, old boy.
Oh, fine, absolutely
There's
fine.
nothing wrong with my skirt.
It's a very nice skirt, really it is.
I say, Rita, would you like a cup of black coffee?
I'll make it.
I don't like black coffee.
All we need is lots of black coffee.
Oh, don't you tell me what I need. I am sick to death of being told what I need. And my skirt is perfectly all right. And it doesn't matter one iota if Ruthie hasn't got a nightie. Lots of people don't have nighties. And I don't need to meet people, thank you very much. I don't need to meet anybody. I have got far too much to do with the washing up and the shopping and being sympathetic about poor old Pamela.
Shall I take her home?
You just want to meet somebody in a gas mask.
I'll take her home.
And I am not looking at your runner beans in the moonlight.
It's a good job you haven't got far to travel.
I had a friend once who had a very good way to travel on long train journeys without paying. What she did was, she'd get on and sit on the bog. No, it's a minute.
It's not allowed when you're standing in the
Right,
station.
right.
Not allowed.
No, wait, what she did was that she'd get on the train, and after a bit she went and she stood outside the bog and shouted, "Tickets, please!" And the person inside the bog shoved the tickets underneath the door, the bog door, and my friend ran like hell.
How terribly dishonest.
Oh, get off. You never said a word about things falling off the backs of lorries.
Hey!
I feel so guilty. I should never have given her so much to drink. I know Rita. She'll be consumed with horror tomorrow.
I doubt if she'll remember anything tomorrow.
No. Oh, I love gardening. You think of Percy Throw-Up and the Ginseng. Now, there's two lovely fellas for you, Dora. Dora likes
Do be careful of my hollyhocks.
Yeah, I can manage, all right.
Behave yourself, Piers. Take advantage of the poor girl instead. She's...
Rita? It's me, Mum. Is everything all right?
Have you got some person with you?
No, Mum.
Will she come down?
There's no telling.
Well, she saw me. You said you had no one with you.
She didn't see you. She's terribly short-sighted.
I thought that story of yours about your friend on the railways was very good.
Yes, wasn't it? I made it up.
Oh, well. It's jolly amusing. Well, I better be running along.
Oh.
You didn't hurt yourself falling over that fence, did you?
No, I didn't.
Ah, that's good. Well, I'll be off.
Do you want to be off?
Well, I thought you could do with a bit of shut-eye.
Bit of shut-eye? What on earth did bring me home for?
Well, I was trying to be helpful, actually. I mean, you did seem to have rather a lot to drink.
Anthea invited you so that you could be nice to me. She thought we might get on.
Oh. Well, I think we get on very well.
Helen?
No, I'm not very good at this sort of thing. I'm a bit of a fraud.
What sort of thing?
Well, you see, I spend most of my time working. You know, I'm not used to indulging in this sort of... You must find me very dull in comparison with the people you know.
I don't know any people.
Look here, I do feel a little out of place. Don't you think we ought to be getting back? Anthony will be wondering where...
Oh, just relax.
Yes, well, it's very easy for you to say that. It's just that you seem nervous, jumping about, drinking far too much.
Oh, I didn't drink too much. I just pretended I had. I often do that.
Well, look, I do feel a little out of my depth. Well, I mean, there's your little girl and your mother. You see, I had no idea how you were placed.
I'm not placed.
Well, it's not very private, is it? It's not exactly conducive to getting to know.
What isn't?
You see, I'm not a very daring sort of person. I'm not adaptable. I'm rather set in my ways.
Rubbish.
No, I am. Really, I am.
Well, what did you kiss me for, then? You kissed me twice.
Twice?
You kissed my hand next door, you did.
You kissed my hand.
Well, it's the same thing. Anyway, you kissed me just now.
Well, you seem to expect it. Well, you looked so sad.
I'm not sad. What else have I got to be sad about?
I'm not very good at knowing what people are feeling. Tell you the truth, I feel lost without my wife.
You?
Yes, I do. I knew what Pamela was feeling.
I don't get you. Anthea said you were a ladies' man. Dora said you were always fruity.
Well, I'm not. I'm absolutely not. I don't move in your kind of circles.
I'm not in a circle.
You see, I must give people absolutely the wrong impression of myself. I don't intend to appear fruity. I went to rather a good school. I was taught to be courteous to women, standing up when they come into the room, you know, things like that, kissing the hand, a touch of the Charles Boyer. I'm what used to be called a bit of a masher. But once you get the knack of it, it becomes a habit.
A habit?
Noticing what women wear, what their hair looks like, paying them compliments, it really doesn't mean anything.
You never paid me any compliments.
I never thought I was very convincing.
You convinced Pamela.
I don't think you understand me at all. Do you see it? It was nothing to do with other women that upset old Pamela.
But you said you played about.
But I only played. I never did anything. When Pamela left, people thought it was because of other women, and no one thought any the worse of me. Rather the opposite. My phone never stops ringing. I wish you wouldn't look at me like that. Oh, look, you be a good girl. Go and do your teeth and I'll be on my way.
I don't want to do my teeth.
I ought to go.
But I like you.
I like you too. Really, I do. I don't know what's expected of me.
What do you want expected of you? Do you want to go to bed?
Well, it is rather late.
I meant with me.
Oh, good Lord, no. I mean, I couldn't.
You were moaning before about everything being predictable. You said you were sick of working.
No, I never said sick, not sick.
All right, then go home. I don't care.
Look, I told you I'm no good at this sort of thing. Anyway, we're so terribly unalike. I mean, we come from different stratas.
Stratas?
Well, you've obviously lived an entirely different sort of life.
You are terribly like my mum.
Oh, what does that mean?
You're very conscious of your stratas. God knows why. You've got dandruff.
Oh, have I?
And those trousers are awful. Nobody wears drain pipes anymore.
Well, you're not exactly the world's best-dressed woman, are you? I'm sorry.
You hurt me. Don't hurt me. You hurt me.
Oh! Oh!
Oh, you hit your head.
No, I haven't. Really, I haven't.
Oh, poor head. Oh, poor darling head.
You really are, you know, very... You're very sweet.
No, I'm not.
You seem so little.
I am. I am.
Pamela wasn't little. In fact, she was rather grown up. Sometimes I wish she wasn't.
You're little too, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I am, you know.
Oh, it's no good. We have to go somewhere. The children might come in.
Hey, where are you going?
You get the whiskey from under the bushes.
You've gone ages ago.
Shh. I've got something. Don't let on you see me.
I won't say a word.
Don't you dare come any nearer. I've just informed the police.
Oh, my God. She's called the police. The police are on their way.
Is this mail known to Rita?
Don't be daft, Mum. It's from next door.
Oh, Oh, you gave me such a fright. Well, I thought you were a burglar. I saw you hovering about among the bushes.
Call the police. The police are coming.
She can't have done. I haven't paid the bill.
No, I didn't really call them. I only said I had. Oh, oh goodness. Oh, my God, what a shock. Oh.
You haven't done him much good.
Oh, you poor man, you look terribly pale.
Oh, nonsense. Just a little surprise, that's all. I do apologise for upsetting you.
Well, there was such a lot of noise. When I looked out in the garden, I saw this dark figure poking about among the weeds. Oh, you gave me quite a turn.
I was looking at the hollyhocks.
You just popped back to see if the children were all right.
Oh, don't be silly, darling. Well, I'm here. I told her to run along and enjoy herself. Haven't you got any glasses?
Not unless you count jam jars.
Oh, there's been such a lot of coming and going, I just couldn't get to sleep. I thought I heard music coming from next door. Were they a lively crowd?
It was a very pleasant evening.
Oh, is the party over then?
Not quite. This is Pierre's mum.
Oh, well, how do you do?
How do you do?
My mother's staying with me for a few days.
Do you live round here?
At St. John's Wood, quite near.
Oh, St. John's Wood, I know it well. My son took me to a restaurant
My brother.
there. It was a lovely place. And my husband,
My
he
dad.
had a business friend who lived somewhere near there. Well, I think it was near there.
Whereabouts do you come from, Mrs. I mean, what part of the country is home?
Southport.
You don't live in Southport.
Oh, Southport?
Do you know it?
As a matter of fact, I did my national service there after the war.
Oh, well, then you know the country club.
Well, it's some years ago.
Oh, it's a marvellous place. Well, I do recommend it. It's got a super ballroom. Oh, it's simply beautiful, Rita. You'd love it. Of course, it's very exclusive. I mean, none of the riffraff. I was there with a male friend the day before I came down here. Rita, darling, I do wish you'd put on that frock I bought you for Christmas. Well, that skirt's hardly evening wear, is it?
Well, I think it's very nice.
Oh, I expect that's one of the children. You know, I don't like to interfere, but I do think they ought to be in at a reasonable hour.
Yes, children do need a certain amount of sleep.
Oh, you must forgive the untidiness. I've tried to tidy it up a little, but it's a losing battle, I'm afraid.
Children can make an awful mess.
Oh, it's not the children. Oh, no, no. They don't like it either.
Well, I suppose it is a little untidy.
Untidy? It's a perfect disgrace.
And they're wondering where he is.
Well, nobody said anything. I think that Jane woman is wondering. But is everything all right?
Well, I've just tied him up. Now I'm going upstairs to put my wellies on.
Of course, she's a wonderful girl. Wonderful. But she's very stubborn. Oh, I blame myself entirely. She made the most unfortunate marriage.
Yeah?
Well, it was more unfortunate for him, really. He wanted to buy a nice modern bungalow, but she wouldn't hear of it. Said she liked old houses. I don't know where she gets her ideas from.
Well, some of these houses are rather splendid, you know. They're all coming up.
Coming up. This one's falling down, if you ask me.
I like this house.
Oh, well, who's that at the door, dear?
Dora.
Oh, I like Dora.
You've never even met her.
No, but I've spoken to her on the telephone. She sounds such a sweet girl. Very ladylike and shy.
She's been married twice.
Oh, well, then she's not backward in coming forward, is she?
I can see you're a woman of the world, Edwina.
Do you know the Regent Palace?
Oh, yes, a marvellous place. In the old days.
Oh, it was. You wouldn't believe it. When my husband was alive,
My dad.
he used to take me to the tea dancing and Masonic night. Well, I brought down one or two gowns just for such an occasion, but, well, everything's different now, you know. Rita never goes anywhere.
But I don't go to any balls. I don't know people like that.
You know, I bet Edwina looks simply stunning when she's dressed for the occasion.
Oh.
I bet you really know how to dress for a function.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Put on one of your gowns, give us a treat.
Oh, I couldn't. I simply couldn't.
Oh, go on. The night is young. We'll have our own ball.
You must be mad.
Don't be a killjoy. Please, Edwina.
Well, I'll just put on my blue lace.
Blue lace. That sounds wonderful. Oh, she's charming. She's not at all like you made out. She's full of fun.
Yeah, she's full of fun.
Now, we just need a little dance number. Oh, I say. You've got little man, you've had a busy day.
I don't get you.
What?
Just a few moments ago you said that you were very set in your ways.
I am.
Well, you could have fooled me. I mean, do you always invite complete strangers to dress up in ball gowns?
Come on, she just wants a little fun. She wants so much to be admired.
I want to be...
He really is very nice, Rita. He's really quite a card, isn't he?
He is that.
Shall I put on my necklace?
Why not? Why not put the lot on? White gloves, the bracelet, cloth flowers. There, you put them on.
Where did he go to school, Rita? Did you ask him?
No, we hadn't got round to that.
Oh, do put on the frock I bought you for Christmas. Oh, do, go on, put it on.
Look, you go on down, and I'll comb my hair, hey?
Nothing like this next door, Edwina, I can tell you. No style at all.
Oh, I do love dancing. Oh, I do so love a foxtrot.
That looks charming.
No, thanks. I don't want to.
Well, what about another little whirl around the floor, Edwina?
Oh! I really ought to be getting to my bed. You know, I'm quite exhausted.
You look well enough to me.
Yes, I must be going.
It's really very cold in here, Rita.
Well, you should be in my nice warm bed, shouldn't you?
Oh, well, it's been so nice meeting you. Well, perhaps we meet again one day.
Yes, indeed.
At the Southport Country Club, perhaps. Who knows? Well, good night again, Mr. Pierce. Oh, I'm that chilly. Good night, Rita.
Please don't go.
It's rather late.
Just wait a moment.
Sounds as if she's right overhead.
She's just putting her clothes away. Did you dance with her for my sake?
For your sake?
You know, to make me happy.
Oh, yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I remembered you said you felt sad when you saw her off on the train. I remembered what you said.
Take your shoes off.
What on earth for?
So you won't make so much noise.
Ah, but I'm not going anywhere.
The only pair I've got, I don't want to ladder them.
Pamela wore tights. They didn't ladder. They just went into holes.
Good for Pamela. Take your shoes off. Be more comfy.
I am comfy. My socks are frightfully smelly.
I can't smell anything.
You know, we're being frightfully rash.
You wiggle your toes about. Do you feel better?
Well, not really. I'm damn worried about your mother coming down.
Just don't think about it. Just go blank.
Blank.
Pretend that you're walking round and round a walled garden. Round and round.
Yes, but you see, if I...
Just go blank. Round and round.
Oh!
It's no use.
I'm not that sort of person. I'm not in a walled garden. I'm supposed to be next door having dinner with friends.
But you're not. You're here.
Yes, but I should be. It's all very comic, you know. I feel as if I've gone for a day at the seaside.
You see, you're much more relaxed.
Well, I am a little. If only I could be sure Edwina won't come down.
She won't now.
I do like you, you know. I find you awfully amusing. Hey, they're my socks.
For goodness sake, she's coming down.
Look, don't put on my... Oh, Christ.
Rita!
Is everything all right?
Ruth is fast asleep in my bed.
It is not your bed.
Is that you, Philip? Well, I hope you're not going to play your gramophone.
Philip, Nan is speaking to you.
Hello, Nen.
Darling, at last.
Gaston, this isn't fair. You know I miss my father.
Well, I hope our children will be as obedient as their mother. All right.
Please don't go. Look, we can go somewhere. Aren't you in their car keys? Just wait.
Aren't we having a jolly talk? I
Ooh,
don't think I have ever known
naughty.
you so witty.
Say please.
Look, that's my bloody whiskey. I paid for it.
Ah! Oh, God, what'd you do that for?
Well, you shouldn't
Yes.
annoy me.
But the security...
Who the hell do you think you are?
You are right.
And £10,000 is rather a large sum.
One of these days I will bloody swing for you.
Oh, thanks, Money, yeah.
My dear fellow, I'm not a charity.
Look, you're wearing my socks.
The door won't open.
Look here, I haven't driven for years.
What's the matter with the bloody door?
Well, I say that isn't George's car. I thought he had a Citroen.
Oh, it's probably a new one. They're always getting something new.
Didn't Anthea go off a bit when you asked her for the keys?
Just start the blooming thing before my mother gets out the binoculars.
That friend of hers, the one who was so dishonest on trains, do you really think it would work?
I'm not sure. I'd have to have a drink before I did anything like that.
It's a pity Rita got a little under the weather. She's such a sensible girl. And Piers is such an extrovert. They would have been so good for each other. I can't think why he never came back to say good night. He's generally so polite.
I expect he got tied up and couldn't.
Oh, don't eat them now.
Why not? I'm starving.
Well, you really should have had dinner with the rest of us. We'll smell the car out.
Well, we blame it on your socks, won't you?
We should go home.
It isn't late.
It is. It really is.
One of these days it'll be too late.
We could meet for lunch one day next week.
Couldn't. I've got nothing to wear. Anyway, you wouldn't turn up.
I would.
You wouldn't. You've gone all pompous again. It's my mum, isn't it? All those children.
I thought your mother was charming.
You're rather alike. Do you really know Southport?
Of course I do.
She doesn't live there, you know. You don't feel close anymore, do you?
I do.
It's lovely here, isn't it? So quiet. I could stay here all night. Couldn't you?
It's peaceful, I grant you that.
No kiddies playing the piano and no crowded dance floor.
You are awfully nice, you know. When you're not shouting at your children or your mother.
I say, let's run barefoot through the grass. Let's tiptoe through the tulips.
I say, wait! With your jump.
I threw it away.
Silly girl. Would you like to come back to my place?
Your place?
I have a flat. Well, 2 rooms, actually. Would that suit you?
Yes. Thank you very much.
We better take the car back and find a taxi.
Yes. I've lost your socks.
Oh, well, that's settled then.
George?